Every summer, the premiers of all the provinces in Canada get together to decide really the big issues of the day. And this summer is being hosted by Premier Ford in Ontario. Changes every year. And it's in Deerhurst, where we are right now with the Premier of Alberta, Danielle Smith. Thank you for, I know you're really, really busy. There are people milling around everywhere in all these meetings. I'm really glad to see you.
Well, I love talking to you.
Let's just deal with the big issue.
Yeah.
I've known you a number of years. You've never seemed like a separatist to me. And some of the Eastern press, some liberal press is saying, you're trying to break up Canada. Tell me it's not true.
Well, it's not true. And the liberal press, the Eastern press, often get these things wrong. I have, from the beginning of my time as Premier, I've been trying to keep the country together. There were a number of different independence groups that were putting forward names on the ballot in the last election. I said, give me a chance to fix Canada. Give me a chance to get a new deal with Ottawa. And unfortunately, we weren't able to under the former Prime Minister, but I hope that we can under this Prime Minister.
You mentioned the former Prime Minister. What was it like being Premier, I guess, for about 2.5 years with a Prime Minister who seems to be out to shaft your province?
It looks like it is a targeted attack. I mean, you have to remember, I'm a close reader of the Constitution, and the Constitution has division of powers.
Right.
We're supposed to be responsible for a number of things, and the feds are supposed to be responsible, importantly, for trade and commerce. And the reason for that was to assist the provinces in getting their products to market. It was never meant to have the federal government block provinces from being able to get their products to market. And that's what's happened for the last 10 years.
Absolutely. But, that student, the Prime Minister, didn't learn that lesson from you.
No.
So it must have been tough, though, to be leading a province, which is why some people are saying, well, you got to be tougher, you got to be more lenient. Either way,
yeah.
When you have the federal government trying to interfere with your business.
And it's not hurt feelings. It's the fact that it has a real impact on people's lives. With the cancellation of the Northern Gateway, cancellation of Energy East, the cancellation of Keystone XL, which they didn't lift a finger to try to advocate for, we have lost 2.5 million barrels a day of oil production. That is worth $55 billion every single year to our province. That is a huge amount. It's a huge amount of GDP. And remember, governments get about 40% of all revenues that are generated. And that's not just for us, it's also for the federal government. This would go to help fund healthcare, education, infrastructure, other social programs. It has a big impact on people's lives. That's why we're wanting to get a reversal of those terrible policies.
So you're the Premier first, but you're not out there to separate. I mean, clear.
I'm out there to have the same kind of relationship with Canada that I observe that Quebec does. Quebec, as they became more and more capable, they started taking on more and more authority over the areas that they're entitled to under the Constitution. I think smaller provinces sometimes defer to the federal government because those programs are expensive to run.
Yep.
We're a 5 million person province now. We have a substantial amount of revenues. We're the third largest economy. We have the ability to take over things like our own police service, our own pension, our own immigration system. And those are the things that we're consulting on right now. Should we be more like Quebec? And does that give us a little bit more clout in negotiating with the federal government if we can be more, if we can stand on our own on some of those major programs?
To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act. Once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.